need to have a longer memory than that. And as I'm the only one of the commentary team tonight that was alive at the time, let me tell you the Wolves are seeking their first championship in 63 years. Sir Anthony Eden was the Prime Minister. Tony Bennett had just hit the #1 in the UK, known lovingly back then as the Hit Parade, with Stranger in Paradise. The average house price was just over £2,000. The average weekly wage, £7. A pint of beer was, and this is in old money, about 1 shilling and twopence. The equivalent today would be a shade over 5p. South Sydney had just retained the Rugby League Championship in Australia. The last time in 11 years that any team other than St George would win the grand final. 1955 was the year, May 1955. And the likes of Brian Bevan and Harry Bath in their side. Warrington defeated Oldham 7-3 at the old Main Road, home of Manchester City, to retain the title they'd won the previous year. Since then, nothing in terms of league championships. Tonight, history is beckoning for these Warrington Wolves. But they will have to get over a massive mountain of emotion that faces them on the other side of the field. Because Wigan Warriors are saying goodbye to that man, Sean Wayne, the coach, who has been at Wigan since he was a youngster. And 36 years later, he leads them out at Old Trafford for the 5th time in 7 seasons. But these Warrington Wolves, they look composed. They're under a brand new coach. The brand new coach has led them to the Challenge Cup final at Wembley. There he is, Stephen Price. They let themselves down. They know that. They admit that. They were overwhelming favourites then. They are overwhelming underdogs here tonight. But that is what the grand final means to the players of both sides. And we won't see that trophy again until it has either the primrose and blue ribbons of Warrington or the red and white of Wigan adorning it in around about 80 minutes' time. What a double for this man too. Robert Hicks is tonight's grand final referee. He was the man in the middle for the Challenge Cup final. He makes it a double for the grand final here at the Theatre of Dreams in 2018. Massive stars from both sides. Terry O'Connor, let's hope we're in for a classic. Let's hope it's anything but 5 drives and a kick. Because these two sides are too talented for that.
It won't be, Eddie. This game's got it. The makings have been an absolute belter. All the Rose Wigan players been written off by quite a few people this year. And you know you've got to focus for the full 80 minutes. You've got to make sure you have a decent kicking game. And if you have a decent kicking game, that means you're ending your sets well. But the likes of Ben Westwood knows that he's got to be up for the challenge. I thought he was very good last week. And you look at that game, Eddie, that they played against Saints. They conceded more penalties. They made more errors. They missed more tackles. But they certainly did look hungry to get back to Old Trafford, to put in an 80-minute performance. And I am sure the likes of Darryl Clark against Sam Powell, we are going to see battles across the field.
Well, Warrington won 5 weekly rounds, fewer than Wigan, but they scored 6 more tries over the season, 134 to 128. They faced the best defence in the competition here tonight. Just 70 tries conceded in 30 weekly rounds, Super 8s, and they kept Castleford scoreless last week in the semi-final. The first time that's happened in the semi-final for 20 years. They've conceded just 9 tries in the last 7 games. All the waiting's over. Here we go for the 28th Betfred Super League Grand Final. And Warrington's Mike Cooper runs the ball straight to the chest of Joe Greenwood, puts him on his backside and throws down a marker for the next 80 minutes. Here he comes now, Super Benny Westwood, hunting his first Grand Final winner's ring. Chris Hill is the Warrington captain. Wigan piling in with that trademark defence. Darryl Clark waiting at dummy half. This now Jack Hughes, a winner with Wigan once upon a time. He gets to his feet, plays the ball to Clark. Cooper will take it up for the 2nd time this opening set. The referee, Robert Hicks, indicates this is the last tackle coming up. Clark will spin the ball back to Tyrone Roberts. His kick to the right-hand side spirals into the air. Well claimed underneath it, and away come Wigan now with their response.
Well, some intent in that first set from Warrington. Every time they carried the balls, the forwards just looking to get over the top of Wigan, especially Mike Cooper with those 2 carries. But the first one, what about that? When he knocks Joe Greenwood on his backside, that's the sort of touch you want in a grand final.
Don Manfredi hits the deck for the Wigan Warriors. He play the ball to Sam Powell. Romain Navarrete, what a story for him getting to the grand final this year. First Frenchman to start in the grand final. Morgan Escaré will be the second Frenchman to play in a grand final when he comes off the bench. Ben Flower gets to his feet, plays the ball on the last tackle here for Wigan. Sam Tomkins with the kick, deep into Warrington territory. Ratsford over to cut it out. Pops the ball up then to Tom Lynham. Here come Warrington with their second use of the football, but look how quick Wigan are in defence again. Well,
they know that they've really got to chase hard because this Warrington back three really do link up well.
Bryson Goodwin goes down, an amazing tackle that by Sean O'Loughlin.
Well, that's what you'd have to. You'd have to rattle in your opposition, aren't you? You'd have to get in front of them, get your bodies in front, hit them with everything you've got. Well, look at that for a shot.
Josh Charnley, a winner and a try scorer here with Wigan in the past. What would he give for a try on this special night against his former club? Kevin Brown, another former Wiganer. Ratsford gets it wide too. Good win again, but Wigan big in defence.
Maybe that's not the best either, is it? On the last tackle there, they put Kevin Brown under pressure. Manages to get his kick, and it goes in between Tomkins and Davis, so they do buy some land, but they're struggling in that set to go forward, the Wolves.
Here comes Davis down the right-hand side. The defence from Toby King. Oh, nearly a mistake at the play of the ball, but Tomkins retains possession for his side. This now Dan Sargentson.
You can see both sides want a fast play of the ball. We saw in the semi-finals, the ruck speed was crucial to the winners. And Joe Greenwood, in that first contact, in that first collision, he's the latest player, trying to get Wigan on the front foot. And when Warrington get the ball, they'll try and do the same.
Here comes the captain again, Sean O'Loughlin. Third minute of the grand final, 0-0. It has all the hallmarks of being an uncompromising 80 minutes. Then Westwood on John Bateman, and John Bateman loses possession. First mistake forced by the elder statesman.
Well, they said before the game that he's running out of time, didn't he, Ben Westwood? And he is a player that just doesn't leave anything behind. Hits John Bateman. John Bateman's getting up to try and play the ball quickly. A little bit of a hand in there. He's got a better grip as well on that ball, John Bateman.
And it's something Sean Wayne said before the game. He said, you've got to take your opportunities, but you also can't present your opposition with the same amount of opportunities. Ben Westwood, with the ferocity and the grapple and the wrestle after the tackle and after the initial collision, he allows his team to get the ball back. And will it be the first occasion Warrington have a look at the try line of Wigan?
Well, they're right on halfway right now as this scrum goes down. The weather, by the way, it's been quite dry throughout the afternoon. There was a bit of drizzle immediately before the kick-off, but thankfully that now has cleared away for the time being. So it's a dry upper, but it's a little bit greasy on the surface, I fancy. And there's another mistake, but that went backwards, did it? No, it is a knock-on. And Wigan forced the error from Goodwin early after the mistake from Bateman.
Well, early on in the game, you've got to make sure that you don't come up with players like this. You've got to earn the right to play.
It's not take the way, Terry. Look.
I think he's got to have a better grip on that, Phil. I think when he goes into contact, he knows Bryson Goodwin that there's going to be some defenders around him. Oliver Gildart goes in. I think he tries to make a play, tries to close him down, tries to tackle him.
Loose carry by Warrington, head and feet at the scrum to Wigan. Legaue will feed. Powell gets it out the back. That's Williams. On the charge comes Joe Greenwood. Fairy tale for Joe Greenwood. First grand final for Wigan on his 11th appearance for this club. Ben Flower now for the Wigan Warriors. Powell directing operations at dummy half. Finds Legaue. Short ball from Legaue to Romain Navarrete. He gets away eventually from the would-be attention. This is Legaue, slips the pass to Greenwood. Sean Wayne watching on, stony-faced, keeping emotions under check for the time being as Ben Flower will take this ball forward. Sam Powell is in behind him at dummy half. Last tackle here for Wigan. O'Loughlin. Oh, it's a little untidy the way it finds its way to Tomkins. Not the best. Well, that's not the best way to end this set of 6. For Wigan, Ratsford has it for Warrington.
The final play was poor from Wigan, but trying to play off the back of a strong go forward. You can see the sloppy ball, and all of a sudden Sam Tomkins knows that he's got to get rid of it. But because of the goal forward, look at where they're now pressing against this Warrington side, who make another mistake in their own half.
The Wolves are doing exactly what they did in the Challenge Cup final, making mistakes, getting off to a bad start here now. Wigan's ferocity in defence has forced that ball free from Westwood, who has more experience than anybody else on this field. And it's a second invitation now for the Warriors to have a really good examination of Warrington's defence close to their own line.
Yes, this scrum will form 15 metres away. I think he knows better than anybody, Ben Westwood, that time is running out for him. Jamie Peacock, the only other 37-year-old grand finalist. Of course, he's got more rings than he's got fingers. Here now is Legaue, gets it away to John Bateman. Warrington's turn to defend. 20 metres out, they put Bateman on his back. That's important, slows the play, the ball down. Powell at dummy half, into centre field to Legaue. He will find a Lachlan, short ball from him to Joe Greenwood. Greenwood gets to within 9 metres of the line. The skipper's behind him, goes down the left-hand side. Williams comes back into centre, finds Legaue. Here's Navarrete again. Good defence from Clark, and Westwood, the man whose mistake has gifted Wigan this territory. This now is O'Loughlin again, short ball to Greenwood. Greenwood releases the pass and the tackle, finds O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin spreads it and gives it to Tompkins. Here's Bateman. Bateman gives it to Gildart. Gildart until last Monday was the Young Player of the Year. That was his title in 2017. Gets to his feet, plays it to Powell. Powell will find Legaue. On the run comes Ben Flower. Last tackle coming up for the Wigan Warriors. 5 out. Back it comes to Legaue. Legaue then to O'Loughlin. Short ball to Sam Tompkins off the arm of Lynham. And more pressure coming on the Warrington defence.
Eddie, 3 or 4 times when they've gone on the left edge, Warrington, they've hit the front runner, they've hit Joe Greenwood on that short pass. Expect that ball a little bit later in the game to go round the back. Sean Wayne knows his side will get the ball back. No, they won't.
Well, he's ruled 2 knock-ons, so that it's a handover rather than a knock-on by Warrington. So it must have been a knock-on by Wigan before that.
Well, there must have been, and Robert Hicks is the man at ground level. He will have seen something that we plainly didn't see.
Maybe the pass from Sam Tompkins was a touch forward, and then there was a knock-on from Warrington. Either way, Warrington relieved, get the ball, and try to make the way upfield.
They will with Chris Hill. He gets through the initial challenge from O'Loughlin. Flower and Greenwood then deal with the threat. Cooper tucks the ball under his wing, releases it backwards and finds Darrell Clark.
It looks good if it comes up, but I think this is a big set here. But you can see Sam Tompkins knock the ball forward as he's trying to catch it. Well, tuck it under the wing, get forward, get to the last tackle, give Kevin Brown or Tyrone Roberts something to play off.
Much better finish. Hopefully Warrington will be thinking that Ratchford's kick is straight into the arms of Tompkins.
And when you kick on the front foot, you need to come up with a better kick than that. The inside pass from Tyrone Roberts to Stephen Ratchford. He's got to make sure that he finds the grass.
The variety was good though, wasn't it? Mixing up an unpredictable kick is what they'll need to do if they want to score or cause Wigan problems.
Tom Davis now for Wigan. His first appearance at Old Trafford as well. Some debutants tonight, but a lot of them with a great deal of Grand Final and Old Trafford experience. Navarrete goes down on the 4th challenge, right on halfway. This is O'Loughlin. Williams again. Gets it wide to Sargentson. Sargentson comes in, but is met by Tyrone Roberts. This is Williams once more. Now it's Tompkins. He'll hit the ball high into the air. Lynham's underneath it. Tompkins, though, knocks the ball back. It's play on this. Good job that Ratchford was there, because that was a try for all money for Romain Navarrete.
Well, just 10 metres from the line, you can see that Sam Tompkins jumps above Lynham, gets the ball back. Romain Navarrete picks it up, but just can't get rid of Ratchford. And it seems the pressure is all on Warrington early on in this game. A couple of mistakes that they've made. They can't just get forward. Look at that again. Thomas Legaue. He's picked out so many times in those yardage plays. Think he's a small player, you can get over him. God, he's got a whack in him.
Thomas Legaue playing his 250th Wigan appearance tonight. Look at that. Clark with a half break. Good job that Ben Flower was there. Here's the first penalty.
Well, there you go, that's Darryl Clark. Quick play, the ball is up. He's testing those defenders, testing whether the referee will blow that whistle or see if there's an opportunity for him to make more meters, more yardage, more territory. Says he's right. The bulk of this game has been played to our right as we're watching, with Warrington coming away from their own line and Wigan challenging and testing the defence.
Penalty then to Warrington, which Tyrone Roberts will dump into touch on this near side. Wigan appearing in a record-equalling 10th grand final, aiming for a 5th win here, having to defend as Hill drives the ball first of all into the chest of Ben Flower. This is Roberts. Roberts, little show and go. That was good tackling by Sam Powell. Clark now. First time Warrington have been this close to the Wigan line, and Brown was nearly through. Flower with the important challenge. Here is Clark. Clark then gives it to Roberts. Roberts will boom the pass to Bryson Goodwin. Well, he flew out of the line, did Manfredi, but Warrington still have the ball with Tom Lynham. And here comes Lynham. Desperate Wigan defence on tackle number 4, bring him down 10 metres shy. They go the short side. Brown tries to slide the kick through. Knock on by Dan Sarginson.
Well, I think that set just shows how dangerous this Warrington side are. Whenever there's a quick play ball, whether it be Darryl Clark, or even if he tips the ball on to Tyrone Roberts or Kevin Brown, both of those players took the line on. And that kick from Kevin Brown, the short kicking game, the long kicking game. And what about Tom Lynham, the strength he has to get through players, get on his front and jump up and play that ball quickly.
Well, the kick won't come as a surprise. Warrington have scored more tries from kicks than any other team in Super League. Almost a third of the tries they've scored this season have had a kick in it somewhere. Kicking into these in-goal areas is very difficult, though. We've already heard from James Graham before the match about how short they are and how fast the surface is, so the ball tends to roll quickly over that dead ball line. But that was the Wolves' first chance to score from their first kick.
And here comes the second chance from this scrum feed that Tyrone Roberts will put in, and Darryl Clark will fire the pass to Brown. This is Bodine Thompson. He's struggling to his feet, gets to his feet. Short ball then to Chris Hill. Chris Hill takes Warrington to within 4 metres of the Wigan line. Darryl Clark is there. Back it comes now to Brown. Brown will find Roberts. Roberts to Radford. Wide they go. Charnley! Josh Charnley for Warrington. 3 grand final wins for Wigan, both, including both against Warrington, 2013 and 2016. Here he has put Warrington's fans in a state of delirium because he's given them the lead after all that early pressure from the Wigan Warriors. Charnley for Warrington, the Wolves ahead 4-0.
I think the 13 minutes has shown what a good defensive side Warrington are. Look at the depth that they've got on that attack. And the vision from Stephen Ratchford to know that Wigan and the winger Tom Davis jams in. As soon as he jams in, he goes for the centre, Toby King, leaves some space outside for the former Warrior. Beautiful setup. This pass is the one. Nails it.
Beautiful setup from Warrington, managing to manipulate the defensive line of Wigan, create some space, create some numbers. And Josh Charnley and Tom Lynham. Tom Lynham coming away from his own line, doing some of that hard work, some broken field running in what players and coaches term as good field position. And there we go. First try, advantage to the Warrington Wolves.
Josh Charnley has scored tries in 3 grand finals now. In the previous 2, he scored for Wigan against Warrington. In the previous 2, his team Wigan went on to win. Might be a significant moment, that, although a long, long way to go, and Sean O'Loughlin and company leading the investigation behind their own line as Charnley, they must be lifted by that. 6 years at Wigan, 164 tries and 173 appearances, 25 tries now for Warrington. This is his 28th game.
And the goal-kicking duty is taken over by Tyrone Roberts. The last time Stephen Ratchford kicked for Warrington, it was when they lost 13-12 to Wigan. A few months ago, Wolves outscored Wigan 3 tries to 2, but they couldn't convert. And from that week on, Tyrone Roberts took over. He's been pretty successful, although you couldn't get a more difficult start to your first kick in a grand final.
Indeed not. His 33rd and last Warrington appearance. The ball has fallen off the kicking tee. There is a bit of wind around Old Trafford tonight, and Steve Price is taking his sideline view as he did at St Helens the other Thursday.
Well, he's nailed over 82% of his kicks so far. Right side of the field, he's had lots of time here to get his heart rate down, rest and recover. He's had a good look at where this kick needs to go, and every point is vital if Warrington are to win here as underdogs.
Well, he was the star of the Cup quarter-final win against Wigan, and he has missed with his first kick a goal. Charnley's try separates the two sides after 14 and a half minutes of the 2018 Betfred Super League Grand Final. 4-0.
Well, the Wolves certainly look up for it, don't they? There's not many players in rugby league that could deliver the pass. This one from Stephen Ratchford. Knowing that you've got space, knowing what the defence are doing, you're 5 metres for the line, and you've got to make sure that you hit your winger and hit him cleanly.
Well, the hashtag for this grand final in 2018 is Dare to Dream. Dare Warrington dream that this is going to be their year. Early days, 4-0, they lead, 15 minutes gone. Bringing the ball back from the kickoff, Ben Westwood into the tackle.
It's so important what they do early on in the sets. First Cooper, then Westwood, then Chris Hill. Look to offload the ball, but I think there's a Wigan hand in there that just clamped hold of that. Then stopped it from offloading. Hasn't this man been a good signing, Bodine Thompson?
Yes, amazing. They're showing him the door at the end of the season. This is his last match.
I think he's been solid. Really does hit hard. Runs good lines.
But impressive Warrington career. They've reached tackle number 5, Warrington, the right on halfway. Here's Roberts again, seeing plenty of it early and getting a good clatter from Sean O'Loughlin as he kicked that ball. Referee and touch judge see nothing wrong with it. So here comes Dominic Manfredi. We've got fairy tales all over the park tonight, and there is another one. Dom Manfredi made his first playoff appearance against Castleford in 3 years last week.
Well, it's been a remarkable season for Wigan, for Dom Manfredi, but the one thing they rely on is kick pressure. The 2 kickers for Warrington, Kevin Brown, Tyrone Roberts on that last occasion. They won't get any time to think unless they get a fast play of the ball on that previous tackle.
Here's John Bateman, anxious not to head over to Australia in the NRL with Canberra, a loser tonight. Gildart gets the ball away under pressure to O'Loughlin. He then finds Williams. Williams gives it to Greenwood. Greenwood, though, goes down. That's tackle number 5. Last one coming up here for Wigan. And it's with Williams. It's a sliced crossfield kick. Ball has bounced and has been picked up by Williams. It's still the last. Tompkins changes the direction and have another kick. That's much better. Lynham has got players converging on him. It's claimed almost by Manfredi.
Well, Sam Tompkins puts his foot out, almost like the old-fashioned Cumberland throw to effect that tackle. I think it's Bryson Goodwin, hits the floor hard. Not sure whether there's a drop ball. And there's the attempt from Dom Manfredi, can't collect it. And from here, Bryson Goodwin tries to gobble up the meters. And Sam Tompkins, foot out, as I say, almost like an old-fashioned Cumberland throw.
Trips him.
Well, probably what might save him will be the fact that he got a hand on him. Because the laws do say that you've got to have a hand on him when he does that.
I think he was angry about the challenge on Manfredi, or the challenge he believes came in on Manfredi.
I've got it, thank you. I have just said I will explain it to you. Please let me do that. Right, I appreciate you've gone to tackle, but the first contact is the foot. It is a penalty for a trip. Be careful.
Penalty for the trip.
Maestro says I think he's lucky that he actually gets a hand on him.
In the old days, if it's a trip, it's a red card. In 2018, not so, Stuart.
Well, he has the option, but I do think that there is slight mitigating factors there because he's managed to get his hand on him as he went over his leg.
So Warrington in possession as a result of that penalty. Clark to Westwood. Let's say the grand final has settled down, hasn't it? It was a scurrum, frantic opening 10 minutes. Maybe the Warrington scorers seen to that. Cooper gives it to Roberts, short ball from him.
It's the nerves as well, Eddie, isn't it? It's the build-up during the week on the game day, and now all of a sudden they're into it, they're into the final.
Clark, a wonderful run from him. Goes down, tackle number 4. Attacking the end behind which All the Warrington supporters are massed on the Stretford end here at Old Trafford. Westwood gets releasing the ball brilliantly to Ratchford. Ratchford, though, is spun to the ground by Legaue and by Bateman. Last one coming up then here for Warrington this set. Crossfield kick from Kevin Brown. Great kick. Charlie went for it. Charlie almost got the ball. It bounces and trundles its way over the dead ball line.
Good in the air, isn't he, Josh Charlie? He just collides with Tom Davis as he's trying to tap the ball back inside. He will want a big game morning against his former club.
Well, he's already had it, he'll say, because he scored the opening try.
Well, still another, just over 60 minutes to go in this game.
I don't know about you lads, but this is going as I expected it. Defence is on top, heavy contact. There's always bound to be a couple of mistakes, some nerves or some forced mistakes.
Now then, here's a chance. There would have been if Gildart would have got the ball out early to Manfredi. Gildart plays the ball to Bateman. Legaue into centre field to Powell. Tompkins looks to his left and finds Williams. Williams slides the kick in. Sargenson's after this. Ratchford, though, the steady, calming influence at the back for Warrington.
It was late on in the tackle count for Wigan, but more importantly, the ball went behind Joe Greenwood. They're looking to create a 3 versus 2. 3 attackers against 2 Warrington defenders.
Penalty here, Westwood taking a breather.
The Leeds are just leg ups now. This is what you need. Josh Charlie, he's got good explosive speed, steps off his foot. He knows he's got to be really hard when he goes into contact there against Tony Clubb and Sean O'Loughlin. He knows that they will try and dominate him. They'll try and hold him up. They'll try and drive him backwards.
Meeting Warrington for the 6th time this year at Wigan. This the 21st Super League showpiece. Is the 3rd in 6 seasons to feature these two sides. Wigan got the verdict in 2013 and 2016. Joe Philbin, Warrington's super sub this year, is on. And in 2013 and 2016, Warrington were leading at half-time, only to surrender the grand final in the second half. This is Chris Hill. Clark is the dummy half. Cooper carts the ball forward. Sutton on his back. Bateman in there too. Clubb was left behind. Beating 3 men there was Cooper. This is Brown. Brown gets it wide to Goodwin. Goodwin keeps the movement going and finds Clark. Clark pops it up to the skipper, Chris Hill. Hill takes tackle number 4. 12 metres away from Warrington's line centre field. Brown, short ball, Thompson. Solid Wigan defence. Goodwin waits. Goodwin goes himself, Bryson Goodwin. It was worth a chance.
It's not a bad place as well to turn the ball over. And I must say that Chris Hill, Mike Cooper have certainly started this game strong. The coach, Steve Price, knows that they are well and truly in this battle, looking forward to this battle for the full duration.
Thomas Legaue looks like he's picked a knock-up in that last defensive effort for Wigan. He's down on his haunches, getting some attention from the physio. He looks like he's trying to make his way back in the line.
Pressure from Warrington's defence here. It's tremendous stuff from Warrington. Sargent trying to get some ground up the other end, but pulled back by King. This is O'Loughlin. They fumbled it twice at Wigan in this set. This is Greenwood. He's not tackled yet. Play on. Sargentson now is tackled by Roberts. Great defensive stint this from Warrington. They're at the last tackle. Tompkins has the ball inside his own 40-metre zone. Hammers it downfield, finds the ground. That's important.
That's a big kick, that, because that was a massive set of 6 in defence from this Warrington side. They couldn't get forward. They were trying to throw the ball around to get to the smaller players out wide.
Tony Clubb's on the field, number 8 for Wigan. He's on a mission, let me tell you. He's been penalised once and he flew into the tackle there on Tom Lynham.
What a turnaround in the last couple of minutes. It was Warrington in the opening 5 minutes that couldn't get any headway downfield. And after a good defensive effort from Warrington, in the last set of 6, they got the ball. 4th tackle and look on the front foot.
Clark, Kevin Brown, Roberts, Ratchford. Legaue is okay by the looks. Still out there. Ratchford is damaged in that tackle. I remember in one of those previous matches here against Wigan, Ratchford was almost running the show, was injured, went off. Wigan won the match. Oh! Tompkins releasing the pass to George Williams to get away with it. Only just. Here goes Gildart.
You look at the amount of Warrington shirts here. They're working together, they're communicating. Our stats are showing us that they haven't missed a tackle yet in this game. Look at him directing. He knows what he wants. He wants his forwards to control it when they're going forward carrying the ball, but also in the middle. Numbers in, make it slow, make it messy.
Sutton again goes down, tackle number 4, still inside his own half. Powell,
very important ball, Eddie, very important. I think Liam Farrell's one of the most consistent players we have in this sport, alongside James Roby, and he's now on the field. Yeah, I think he'll stay until the end.
Big clatter on Legaue by Bodine Thompson as he kicked that ball downfield. It's a penalty to Wigan.
Bodine Thompson, much like Wigan have been doing to Warrington on a number of occasions, he gets there as quick as he can, only fractions of a second in it, but it's too late for the referees like in head down, forearm across the shoulder, and a penalty given.
He's penalised him for contact with the head. He said there was contact with the shoulder as he went into the tackle, rather than the leg tackle.
I think that tells you.
The eyes have it there, don't they? The eyes and the smile from Legaue. So, Wigan then with a chance, with Legaue, with Powell and Farrell. Warrington still ahead, 4-0. Trust you're enjoying this grand final wherever you may be tonight. Sure you're watching in Australia, New Zealand and around the world in pubs and clubs. Here is Legaue, gets it away to Gildart. Gildart gets it to Manfredi, and the fairy tale continues for Dominic Manfredi. 5th appearance of 2018. He got a try against Leeds here in 2015. He has had 2 years of injury hell. He is now in grand final heaven. Dominic Manfredi has levelled the scores. Wigan 4, Warrington 4.
Well, it's Manfredi who gets the try, but it's all down to the decision-making of Oliver Gildart. Facing a defensive line, the Warrington defenders, one of them jumps out, creates an opening, creates an opportunity. Ball being passed from left to right. Bryson Goodwin takes the risk, takes the gamble, thinks he's going to get, and second guess who will get the ball. He makes the wrong decision, footwork, left, right, and there you go, wonderful centre play from Oliver Gildart.
Good players can react to a poor defensive read, and Oliver Gildart has the vision to do that. As soon as he sees that a Warrington player jumps the line, the space is there and Sean went, well, that's what it means to win. And I agree, Dom Manfredi, isn't it good to see him back in the game?
Well, remember, he got 2 tries in his comeback game against the Warrington Wolves in September, and this is his first try since. 4-all. 26 minutes, 15 seconds. It's flown by, as has this year. I can't believe it's 12 months since we were last here.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Seems like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, both sets of fans are loving and enjoying the occasion. Important kick here, points are vital, obviously.
Another tough one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, isn't it good to see Dom Manfredi back in the game, 2 years absent.
Well, when he scored in 2015, Dom Manfredi, Leeds won 22-20. Now then, Roberts missed with his kick wide out on the right-hand side for the first try from Charnley. What about Tompkins? Do you know, I watched him in pre-match warm-up. He kicked everything off the tee from that angle in the pre-match, but there's no pressure there.
Well, it might not have helped with the 2 points, but it certainly helps with the 4. Just look, there's been some great footballers on this ground who've let the ball go past them to allow chance for their teammates to score. The ball went in front of Sam Tompkins there. He sits back and waits. He's almost a magnet to draw the Warrington defender Bryson Goodwin out of position, and he created the space for Manfredi.
That's his reaction to missing the conversion attempt. As I say, he didn't miss one in the pre-match warm-up. But that's pressure in a grand final.
That's it, when it all counts. The fans are in, you scored a try, you're looking to post as many points as you can.
Tony Clubb takes the first tackle of the next set, puffing his cheeks out. Trademark style as he always does. Here comes Ryan Sutton. 27 minutes gone. Tight, as we thought it might be. All square at 4 apiece. Liam Farrell.
It's crucial after you've scored points. After points, complete your set of 6, put a good kick in, and begin your next defensive effort in control.
Bateman. Bateman will play the ball to Powell. There's Clubb again. Williams to Tompkins. Quick hands. Finds Sargentson. Knock on.
Well, good footwork, but good pressure on the inside as well. When the ball goes away from you, especially over to Wigan's left edge, they've got the likes of George Williams, who's got a good double left foot step, and then they've got Dan Sargentson as well, who can step off either foot, gets himself through, gets to the speed that he's got.
He can, and for that reason, defending as the Warrington right centre, he's a pressure position. You've got to remember that Wigan have scored 3 times as many tries on their left-hand side of the field as they have to the right. They love to go outside George Williams, and so Toby King, defending in that right centre, has got a massive job of responsibility here tonight. We might not see him score many tries, but the ones he will save and his defensive effort is crucial to any potential Warrington victory.
Charnley, the Warrington try scorer. It's a high completion rate from Warrington so far. Not so from Wigan, just over 50%.
Well, it gives them a chance, doesn't it, if they can complete high. Like we said before, get to the kicks, kick them into the corner.
Big Ben Murdoch-Masilla.
Well, he likes to run over on that side, that edge that Phil was just talking about there. Dan Sargentson's night's just got a little bit more difficult.
Hughes gets it away to Brown. Free play, it'll come back now. Mike Cooper has it.
Yeah, he couldn't take that ball in then, could he? Bodine Thompson. Was there some space out the back for Kevin Brown? Hits the lead runner. Goes through Stefan Ratchford out the back. Thomas Legaue had wedged in.
Kevin Brown, it's his first grand final of a 16-year career.
You know, Warrington know that they've got to take the chances. They're up against the team who come into the grand final on the back of 9 straight wins, and like you said before, Eddie, they just conceded 9 tries in the last 7 matches, so you've got to make sure that you try and play as near to the Wigan's line as you can. Take those chances whenever they're presented to you.
Liam Farrell gets the ball away. Powell finds Bateman. Bateman tries to cut them open down the middle and manages to smuggle the ball back to Legaue again.
2 offloads in that set of 6 there for Wigan. Again, 10 or 15 minutes extra on the play.
Sutton, back it comes to Williams. Williams then got it away to Joe Greenwood.
The amount of times they're giving the ball to Joe Greenwood on Tyrone Roberts. Big plan for Wigan.
Tompkins, Legaue, Gildart. Back into centre field it goes to Powell. Powell then says to Williams, have another go. Williams slides the kick in behind the defence. Tom Davies! I don't know whether he gets this down. I'm not 100% convinced. He is. And Robert Hicks rightly is handing this upstairs to Ben Thaler. Oh, they have a try on the field. They've decided it's a try on the field. He wants to check onside, offside Stewart from the kick, and obviously the grounding.
Well, the grounding looked all right on first look, but it's the onside that the touch judge Chris Kendall had most concern about. I think we can see there, a nice cut of the grass shows that he's behind the ball, both feet behind the ball, so we're all right to play on to the grounding. On the grounding, he doesn't have to touch it with his hand, he's just got to ground the ball. Because it's already on the ground in the in-goal area, he just has to get his torso on the ball. That's the upper half of his body to go down with contact, and there we have it. Now that line is the football line, that is not the dead ball line. That's in the in-goal area. It's greened out, it's not the dead ball line. You can see that there. So this try will be confirmed.
What a wonderful piece of play. The winger called for it, the half-back delivered it, top-class skill, and that's the most difficult ball to deal with, the bouncing ball, end over end. And that, for me, is a Wigan try.
First try in 6 games coming up here for Tom Davies since the win at St Helens in August. What a place to break your recent barren spell. here at Old Trafford in the grand final. And it's going to go green. It's going to go green. Tom Davies on his Old Trafford grand final debut. And he edges Wigan ahead by 8 points to 4.
Mature play from Davies, like Barry said. He calls for it. He puts his arm free. You can see that Josh Charlie, he's focusing, he's looking inside. And the amount of times that they look to shift the ball, they're looking for some space. Where can they get Warrington? Again, bouncing across, and all of a sudden George Williams thinks, yeah, I've got him interested. There's some space behind. Josh Charlie's looking at what we're doing when we're bringing the ball back. So all of a sudden, all the Warrington players start focusing on coming in, shutting down the play. And as soon as that happens, the youngster calls for it. They fancy the chances out wide in this game, I think, Wigan.
Tompkins to try and add the extras. He's missed another, his second of the match. 8-4. I said pre-game, I hope it's not 5 drives and a kick. We've had 3 tries from 3 of the 4 wingers.
That's a good play. Wigan have certainly increased the width with which this game's been played. Most matches start pretty narrow. Most have played in the centre of the field, but they've thrown passes wide to the right, brought it back to the left, and we've seen this so often from George Williams. A threat, he can run, pass or kick, and it's the kick here now that puts Wigan ahead 8-4.
It's the discipline of Tom Davies. He knows he wants it, he can feel it, see it, points where he wants it, and then, as we say, the skill was good enough.
So Ratchford restarts, his team now trailing by 8 points to 4. Try scorers underneath it. Tony Clubb puffs those cheeks out twice. Chris Hill has returned to the fray. Oh, the ball has come clear. The ball's come clear. And Warrington have it back on the first tackle. This is a 0 tackle. They've got 7 from here. And it's with Bodine Thompson. Wow, what a change that might be.
Yeah, got to be disciplined with the ball after you've scored a try.
Here comes Philbin on the charge. Philbin gets to within 5 metres of the line. What a bonus this is for Warrington. Roberts pops the ball up, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, man mountain, picked up and dumped to the ground. Messing around on the floor as well, slowing the ball down for Warrington. That was King. This is Murdoch-Masilla again. That's Roberts. Here's Hill, whose tackle forced the error on Tony Clubb. That's 4 gone. Clark again, pops it up. Murdoch-Masilla trundling forward. That's the turnover. And Wigan have defended their line.
That's good defence, but that's a poor set in my eyes from Warrington. Over on the left-hand side, they were setting up for it. They were calling the kick. Tom Lynham had his hand up with a little crash ball, a little inside to the big juggernaut, Ben Murdoch-Masilla. I don't think that was good enough. Not in final football.
Tompkins for Wigan gets it away to Bateman. Bateman, Sutton, Tompkins heading to pastures new. Clubb for Wigan. His 3rd grand final for Wigan. He's yet to win one as Tony Clubb. Liam Farrell. This is Williams. Comes away from a couple. Again gets a flat pass to Legaue. Couldn't take the pass. The return pass, 0 here. So it's a free play. Why wouldn't you go for this? The ball will run down. They'll bring it back.
Well, when you're defending against George Williams and the ball's shifted out, you've got to make sure your inside pressure is good. He bounces back across, he gives it to Thomas Legaue, then he runs around him, makes the mistake, and Kevin Brown thinks, yeah, do you know what, we'll have a crack at this. Let's see if Toby King or Josh Charlie can get there.
It's big effort again from Kevin Brown, and I think, Phil, I've heard you say a few times, if you can get your best attacking players interested and enthusiastic when it's time to defend, it's a good sign for your team.
Certainly is, but for me, the best player on the field has been George Williams. He's been the most exciting to watch. And if Warrington are to win this, they need one of their halfbacks. Steve Price knows that one of their scrum half or standoff, Brown or Roberts, needs to possess the same danger that George Williams has done when Wigan about the ball.
Well, it's a big night for Kevin Brown. He said when he left Widnes he came to Warrington to win trophies. This is a golden chance. Hughes to Roberts. Roberts looks in the mood, and this is final appearance. Now Joe Philbin running strongly at the 3 defenders, hauled back. Clark will have a scamper from dummy half. Darrell Clark, so close to stretching the arm out. Roberts again. Kevin Brown, short ball, Bodine Thompson, good tackle, Legaue. Boy, he's good in defence. There's Brown, Ratchford again, stuttering Ratchford, stuttering past them, no, Gildart manages to hang on and pull him down. They turn it over again on the Wigan line almost.
Second occasion they've chose to run the ball on the last tackle. You can't blame Darrell Clark here, but with two more tackles in the bank, that's the reason. Steve Price scratching his head thinking, what are my team thinking here? Are they thinking in the moment or are they thinking in the plan?
Stick it through the line, dab it behind the try line, get another set of 6. When you're so close, you can get that weight on. If you win that last play, it's not really going to be an awful lot of pressure on you, but they're choosing to run the ball. And the second time that they've done that, when they've been down near Wigan's line, and it keeps Wigan honest in defence, doesn't it?
Well, Legaue's in the wars again.
Do you need a doctor, mate? Okay. Come on, Chris.
He's a tremendous player, Thomas Legaue, but they don't actually lose that much. I presume they'll put Morgan Escray on the field. He's where, with no self-preservation, flings himself into this tackle.
What they will lose, Barry, if he has to come off, is his defensive qualities. Thomas Legaue was fantastic in the semi-final.
They'll push Tompkins up, you're exactly right, but it changes the run threat of Wigan. It looks like he catches a finger in the eye. It's a bit bloodshot. He'll go over to the sideline and get it assessed, but they'll push Sam Tompkins up. Morgan Escray will go to fullback and it'll change the running threats.
Well, Legaue is coming off, as you see. Morgan Escray is coming on. So two Frenchmen making history in 2018 in a year of history for the French game. Catalan Dragons at Wembley. I have to wish for that closely amongst my Warrington friends. And two Frenchmen now playing in the grand final for the first time.
You take off, what you take off is a good attacking player, but also a good defensive player in Thomas Legaue. Really does look after him on the right side. They've lost the ball here. Again, I said before, Eddie, likes of Chris Hill and Cooper, I think they've been solid, carrying the ball in defence, bodies in front, hitting with absolutely everything. You can see when they get close, they're targeting the ball.
That's why I think their policy of running the ball on the last tackle in these in-goal areas is a sensible one in the first half. Turning the ball over there, if you don't score, it allows you to get excited in defence, possibly force a mistake, and stay at the right part of the pitch.
Well, that was a big hit from Chris Hill. They celebrated, and John Bateman took a bit of exception to the celebrations. They celebrated that almost like they'd just scored the winning try.
Well, he just lines them up, doesn't he, Chris Hill? There's not much footwork that's ever needed when you're so close to your line, bringing the ball away.
Now another chance for Warrington then, with Roberts, with Hughes. Not going anywhere with those three around him. Darrell Clark waits at dummy half. George King on his way to Wakefield. So many players tonight heading for the exit door at the end of this game. Ratchford isn't one of them, though. 4.5 minutes to the half-time siren. Wigan just ahead. Brown, though, for Warrington. Here he comes again, George King. Down he goes. This Wigan defensive line still standing firm. Hill fires the pass back to Brown. Brown short ball. Murdoch-Masilla. Good grab of the ankles by Joe Greenwood. Clark again. Back it comes to Brown. Brown slides the kick through. Gildart just shuttles it over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout coming up.
And that's that time. Instead of running the ball, it's all about building pressure now. Make Wigan panic. Let that ball go along the floor. Make sure your chase is good. Make sure you're onside. Kevin Brown again is one of those players that likes to play. He'll pop up on the left, on the right, he'll control the middle. Really does manage the troops.
Tompkins taking a breather.
We need to work on this goal line, guys.
And Robert Hicks wants to get on with it. Tompkins gets the ball away to halfway line. Roberts is underneath it. Here comes George King again. Powell stood his ground, helped out by Farrell. Clark waits at dummy half.
Hold, go, on the a call, Sam.
Chris Hill. He's so important to this Warrington side, and he's lost it. Wigan have got the ball back.
You picked him up too much then, Eddie.
But he is important, isn't he?
He is important.
He's important apart from that moment.
When he keeps hold of the ball, he's crucial. Chris Hill, he gains those meters. He's got defensive pressure all around him, as Wigan do. They get involved, they try and slow you down, they get you in the wrestle, and there's a mistake from Wigan.
A big hit by Bryson Goodwin.
And here we go. Tempers flare. Pushing and shoving. Bryson Goodwin, he dominates the Wigan attacker, flips him on his back and forces the mistake. And both tribes now sticking up.
Well, legs flicked up into the air. I don't know whose legs they were, probably the tackled player, Oliver Gildart.
There's nothing wrong with that. He just loses the ball. I think they're frustrated that they've made a mistake in their own half. There's always going to be fireworks. You know, you stand over the player, and then Morgan Escudé comes in all of a sudden. He doesn't like the reaction from Bryson Goodwin, but there's nothing wrong. He was just more or less celebrating that
done that a few times,
opposition had made the mistake.
Well, that's flyweight against light heavy, isn't it?
Yes, they've done it a few times, Warrington.
Start running in, pushing players. Calm yourself down. It's a knock on. Knock on.
They're putting a lot of effort in defensively. They've done that all year. When you think of the stamp of Steve Price's 2018 Warrington Wolves side, it's been defensive effort, intensity, and Sam Tompkins, he doesn't like it, and neither does the replacement Morgan Escudé.
So 2 minutes 40 seconds to the half-time siren. Chance here for Warrington to get back on level terms at least before half-time. That's Toby King. He'll play the ball to Darrell Clark. Here's George King. Clark is waiting again at dummy half. Goes to the right-hand side with Roberts. Ben Murdoch-Masila. You can see what the game plan is as far as he's concerned. But he doesn't do that. He should hold on to the ball if he can. To kick and chase. There's only Warrington jerseys after this. It'll all come back. It'll all come back.
Well, you try and give the ball Ben Murdoch-Masila and let him pick his own target out. George Williams did a tremendous job to just clamp that ball. Look at, he's trying to pull his arm free, Ben Murdoch-Masila. He loses that ball, but good effort in defence from George Williams. You know that if you're a halfback and you're up against one of the bigger men who are out wide, they're going to set themselves some decent lines. He's going to target you. He's going to try and get over the top of you.
Little smirk from Morgan Escudé, he who laughs last and all that, because he was involved in the fracas before that, after the challenge.
And he spent the first part of this game watching everything unfold, thinking to himself, when I get on, I'm going to make sure I make an impact on this game. Well, good luck making an impact on Ben Murdoch-Masila. You see, George Williams probably targets the ball with a view to just making the ball carrier uncomfortable. As soon as the ball starts to move, that ball carrier, Ben Murdoch-Masila, in this occasion, he'll just think, right, well, I'll take the tackle and play the ball.
So Warrington chance temporarily goes. Now they hunt the mistake from Wigan, who look maybe themselves in the last 2 minutes of the half to get up and increase their lead. But this is good defence from Warrington. Been a good grand final so far.
It's been excellent. It was always going to be a close game. At the right time, Sean Wayne knows that his side are playing well. Warrington are playing well.
Farrell hits the deck. As I say, last two grand finals, Warrington have been ahead at half-time. Is it going to turn its tables this year? Is Wigan going to be ahead at half-time? Or Warrington going to come back in the second half and win the match? Tompkins. Darrell Clark picks it out.
He's out cold. He's out. Clark.
I think Sam Tompkins slid in, and I think he caught him with the knees. But I think I'm giving him benefit of the doubt here. I think it was a mistake, and then he called immediately.
He didn't mean to do it. Yeah, straight away, put his hand up. Yeah, he loses that ball,
but it's a penalty. Sam Tompkins goes in on Darrell Clark. He's apologising. Teammates for England.
You've got to be brave. You know that there's going to be some bodies around you. And he apologises. Hand up straight away. We've got another set of 6 here before we get to half-time.
Well, what does the referee do here, Stuart?
Well, I think it's just a penalty. I think Tompkins He does lead with the knee, but he is trying to pull out.
With his knees. I think it's just how he lands on him. That's all I'm giving at this stage of speaking to Tompkins. And Brown. Yes, I'll speak to him after. Tap with the knees. You've now had two where you've been clumsy. We've got to sort yourself out.
Nobody sin-binned in a grand final yet. We've had one red card, of course.
Well, bravery on show from Darrell Clarke. He's had a couple of really good touches in this game. On that occasion, he needed to be brave, secure the ball, get down on it, and he takes one for his corner.
Right, this is a chance now for Warrington. Clarke to Brown in centre field. Gives it then to Tyrone Roberts. Showed it to Hughes, ran it and gave it to Ratchford. George Williams all over the field in this first half. The Wigan standoff. Clarke is waiting. Warrington have 40 seconds to get over the line. Chris Hill. Here's Jack Hughes. Oh, he was overrun by George King.
Quite a passive set here for Warrington. They were just looking to set up the field position.
George King has it now. It's Roberts. Sutton picks him out. Last one coming up for Warrington. Can they get something in the last 10 seconds of the half? Ratchford picked up. Well, that was a poor end for Steve Price. He's on his way to the dressing room because he knows that siren has sounded. And Wigan lead by 8 points to 4. I wonder what the boos are for. It's been a rip-roaring first half. Two coaches with work to do and talks to talk and walks to walk. He's been magnificent in the first half for Wigan, George Williams. Wigan supporters end. Wigan, of course, going towards the other end where all the Warrington supporters are massed at the Stretford end of this ground. And Stephen Ratchford being very precise. Thomas Legaue is out there again, which is good news for Wigan. And now that the ball has settled finally on the kicking tee, we'll get underway on the shrill blast of Robert Hicks' whistle. Ratchford gets us back in action. Where's your money, Terry?
Do you know what, Eddie? I'm not copping out here, but I'm not so sure yet. I'm sure we're in for an explosive second half, though. You've got both sides here. They've done all the hard work to get here. They don't want to let themselves down on the big stage. We've saw a lot of class from both when they've shifted the ball, but it's the early on what they've got to do, I think, Eddie, in this game. In the second half, they've just got to make sure that they get through the sets, get to the kick, and just don't go away from that before they start opening the players up.
Well, by the looks of things in the opening exchanges of this second half, it looks like all the pushing and shoving in the tunnel has been forgotten, so that's good news. 15 minutes for tempers to calm down. Here is Tompkins sliding the kick all along the floor and will be collected by Tom Lynham. All right, let's go down to Bill. You weren't involved in all that pushing and shoving, Bill, will you?
No, I've been in this game long enough, Eddie, to know to keep my distance when it gets heated like that. And it did get heated, and Warrington obviously went into the dressing room still feeling very aggrieved by that challenge from Sam Tompkins on Stephen Ratchford, feeling that at the very least it should have been a sin-binning. A red card was really what they felt about it, and Steve Price still talking about that as they came out for the second half. But other than that, pretty pleased with his size performance. The only thing is he needs them to be more clinical when they get into a threatening position, which they might be doing now, Eddie. Meanwhile, Sean Wayne not particularly pleased with his side's performance. Defensively, yeah, okay, but in terms of their attack, not doing what he wants them to do and making too many errors as well, which is contributing to their position at the moment. Happy to be in front, obviously, but they can do better. They will do better, he said, with that steely, menacing look in his eye.
Well, they have the ball in their hands at the moment, to Wigan, with Sargentson. Going to get to the end of this, their first set. the start of the second half. Their completion rate in the first half was pretty low for them, just over 50%. Here is Tompkins again now, greeted by Brown, with help from Bodine Thompson. On halfway, that was Legaue. He found Williams, pops it up to Ryan Sutton. And Sutton makes 10 further metres. Last one coming up here for Wigan then. Tompkins with another kick down along the ground. Difficult for Lynham to collect, but then he does. But on the ground, it gives Wigan the opportunity to close in and get the tackle in early.
Wigan with ball in hand, it is very noticeable that they're trying to move, they're trying to force that pass. Just passing that ball onto a man in a better position, not necessarily to break the line, just to move the defensive line of Warrington around. And I suspect we'll get the same in the second as we got in the first. Perhaps not 20 minutes, but we'll get a period of just jabbing away, some mistakes, some penalties, and then the game will open up.
Well, here's the first penalty of the second half, offside against Wigan.
Well, it's been a consistent rule, isn't it? Through the season, Josh Charnley getting up, playing the ball quickly. Joe Greenwood on the wrong side of the ruck. The ball goes into him and the penalty's awarded. Good kick as well there. Deep into Wigan's half.
That's a great penalty, that. They're 30 metres away here. Warrington as they start this. Here is Chris Hill, hoping to become the first Warrington captain to lift the title since Albert Norton in 1955. Long way to go yet as Ratchford finds Bryson Goodwin. Good tackle by Gildart. Ratchford is the dummy half. Here comes Thompson again now. Thompson goes down 15 metres away from the Wigan line. Slow play, the ball forced by the Wigan defenders. George King to Mike Cooper. Back he comes to Roberts. Roberts, quick hands from Ratchford. Toby King, spinning under the challenge from Davis. Eventually going down. Ratchford again from dummy half. Changes the direction, comes back this way. Toby King, whoops. Nearly an obstruction. Last tackle. What option do they have this time? Sets didn't end tidily for them in the first half. Might do here. Good kick. Claimed though. Very well claimed, and away he comes, does Don Manfredi. What a run. What a run from him.
Joe, he's a great athlete, isn't he? What about catching the ball?
Oh, it's a penalty. Not standing square, Warrington.
Yeah. Well, Don Manfredi, very good take in the air. And as soon as he gets the ball, you know what he's thinking. Quick tap in as well.
Yeah, George Williams saw there's quick thinking. No one was looking. No one at all was looking on the Warrington side. So Williams took full advantage. This is Powell now. Wigan midway inside the Warrington half of the field. Legaue to Liam Farrell. Warrington hoping against hope that this league championship jinx will not come back and haunt them in this second half. But here come Wigan in the shape of Tompkins, grounded 20 metres away. 15 metres in from touch on this left-hand side. He's found Williams. This now is Sutton. Sutton can't get away from Cooper or from Hill. Powell to Legaue. Legaue to Williams. Williams dabs the kick in. Picked up almost inevitably by Stefan Ratchford.
He's safe at the back, isn't he, Stefan Ratchford? A player that has an awful lot of influence on his side in attack, but also defence. So in the first half, how controlling he was directing his troops. Just Charnley now comes up with a big carry here.
Well, the quicker the play the ball's become for Warrington, the more you'll see Darryl Clark come into this game. His name will get mentioned, and he'll influence the way this game goes.
Hughes for Warrington as they cross halfway. But that's tackle number 5. Toby King to Roberts. Roberts kick straight up in the air. The chase is on. It's coming out of the air now into Tompkins' hands. No pressure on him. Tompkins with a lateral run.
Look at the chase though, Eddie. It was a high kick, a good chase. Sam Tompkins was trying in vain to get that quick play of the ball, but defenders back, Primrose and blue shirts all in front of those attacking players in the cherry and white shirts.
Legaue. Well, the wingers are moving in from the touchline to try and help out the forwards get the ball away in the early stages of these sets.
Trying to generate some speed for Warrington now. Super Benny Westwood is back on the field.
They're asking for a knock-on then against Liam Farrell. Wigan have it still. Last one. Defence is on top in the opening 7 minutes. Tompkins with a decent kick, turning Ratchford around.
Good kick from Tompkins. He was under some pressure from Ben Westwood then. Ben Westwood at marker, gets out, spots that Tompkins is about to kick it.
You get the feeling that we're nearing bonfire night, that someone's going close to the blue touch paper with
this
the
is the arm wrestle. This is the arm wrestles. Teams going set for set as they did in the first half. It was a bit longer. It was probably about 18-19 minutes in the first half.
There's an offload.
There's an offload. That'll spark them up.
This is Roberts now. It's Jack Hughes. He goes down now. Tackle number 3. 9 metres in the Wigan territory. Westwood to Brown. Ratchford. Ratchford goes wide and finds Lynham. The Wigan defenders move across and find him. Thompson, Goodwin, Bryson Goodwin. He knew that Manfredi was offside. He couldn't be touched by him. This is Westwood. Westwood gets the ball away to that man Goodwin again. Good defence. Greenwood and Powell. Last one for Warrington. Can they get a repeat set here? Another aerial effort claimed by Tompkins. It's goal line dropout, I think. Goal line dropout coming up.
Well, when you put an attacking kick in, that's exactly where you want it to land. Sam Tompkins had to be good in here, under some pressure, gets the ball, but as soon as he's coming down, the effort from Charlie, the effort from King, not to allow him to get to ground, play the ball quickly, they push him back. As you said.
The more the game goes on, the more, for me, offloads are critical here for Warrington. If they can manage to find the right ones and be effective with them, they'll certainly have the best chance, I think, of scoring points. We're going to make another quick change. Referee, stop the game.
Well, I think we're going to stop the game because they've not given the ball to Sam Tompkins to get the goal line dropout away. They have made the change. Powell's coming off, Escare's coming on. Stephen Price, the Warrington coach, ground level view as he had in the semi-final. Not been quite so animated, quite so excited as he was last week against Saints. Maybe those times will come in the last half hour.
It's tense for players, fans, coaches alike.
This is Westwood. Clark to Cooper. Cooper back to Roberts. They have numbers this time. Hughes couldn't get the ball away. Good tackle by Williams, that was. That's how close Warrington are. Roberts, Cooper. Cooper stands, resists going to ground, plays the ball. Clark, Roberts, Brown, wide they go. Goodwin, further wide, Lynham. Great Wigan defence again.
Well, he's strong, Tom Lynham. We saw him last week when he played against Saints. How good he is from short range, but Wigan, you've got to make sure that you hit with everything you've got. And Don Manfredi, well, he's hitting with everything, but I think he's come off second best here. Big, powerful winger, Tom Lynham. Look at that, the collision. Puts his body on the line, but saves a try.
It's the pass from Kevin Brown, isn't it? It goes across the face of the centre into the hands of Tom Lynham. Body's on the line, and he's a big body to stop Tom Lynham. 105 kgs, about 16 and a half, 17 stone, in full flight, dipping down, trying to get to the line. And Don Manfredi, bone on bone, gets him over the sideline.
Well, there you are, the scars of battle in the grand final.
He won't be bothered if he's lifting the trophy at the end of the game, will he? Pick up a couple of scars, and Sean Wayne knows that this is a true final.
Well, they'll be desperate to keep the field, but they can stop that bleeding. That's the task now for the medical staff.
I think they're also maybe checking he's not concussed in any way, because it's right on the temple, isn't it? Right on the eyebrow. Magic spray.
The corner in a boxing fight here, they're doing everything they can to stop the blood.
I think he might have to take a breather. It's a head inspection as well as everything else, as well as all that Another legend of the game here tonight, Martin Nafaya. Behind him, Danny Maguire, who has made Old Trafford a bit of his own territory in the past. There's Danny.
2 try scorers.
And Andy Farrell's not far. There he is.
No. Some class in that frame, I'll tell you.
He looks like he's aged, doesn't he, Andrew Farrell? Wow.
Martin looks... Oh, there's Jamie Peacock. There's another one. They're all here tonight. The Stars come... Oh, and another one. Any more? The Stars come out on grand final night.
So Paul Newell up before, Chris Joynt. All I can say about those two is they were enjoying the hospitality, Eddie.
So as a result of all that, we have head and feet at the scrum to Wigan after that great defence. Exactly half an hour to go. The captain poised to return. He comes on for Dominic Manfredi, who is now undergoing a head assessment, a concussion test, and doubtless will be also having a stitch or two in that wound on his eyebrow. Such is life in the Super League. You don't mess around. You don't go down if there's nothing wrong with you in this game.
Well, it looks like Oliver Gillart's gone onto the wing and John Bateman's gone into the centre. So they're quite lucky, aren't they, Wigan, that they've got a player like John Bateman who can cover a number of positions.
Yeah, he won't be here next year. This is Sutton, neither will he. Solid run from the youngster. 23 years of age. Tompkins, right down the middle. I think that'll have too much legs on it.
Under pressure from Bodine Thompson again on that occasion. He got it absolutely spot on. Sam Tompkins holds his hand up. Accuracy wasn't right. He had too much meat on it. But credit the defensive effort of Bodine Thompson.
So Wigan now called on to keep Warrington down at this end of the field. That was a big first challenge on Josh Charnley. Really just getting back onto his feet.
Well, they've put 4 men into the last 2 tackles, Wigan, and both wingers. Not stopped the progress, but there's a 10-metre run from one of the Warrington team.
Philbin. O'Loughlin leading from the front. Clark. Westwood. Arm wrestle is the best way to describe it at the moment. Philbin.
Just building up nicely, and it's like somebody switched the treadmill off when that injury happened to Dom Manfredi, and it's just speeding back up now.
Last tackle here, they're running it now, they're kicking it with Hughes. Escaré comes around the other side.
And we saw that in the first half with Sam Tompkins when he collided with a Warrington player, and Escaré again at the back. You've got to be brave as a fullback. You've got to put your body where nobody else wants to. And you can see he goes down, he slides, he's slipping, he's going forward.
Well, it's exactly the same as Tompkins, isn't it?
And it'll be the same result. It's a penalty, and that's all it is.
There's the Sam Tompkins one. He immediately put his hand up and said sorry, and we've just had a similar one from Josh Charnley. So consistency from the referee, who wants a word with Charnley. And if Stewart's read it right, and I'm sure he has, it'll just be a penalty and a talking to.
It's contact with the head. It's similar to the one with Sam Tompkins. It's a penalty. That's all it is.
Well done, Stuart. All you need is to lose a pound or two, you could be out there.
A pound? Right, I'll settle for that.
He meant to stone, Stuart.
He's dealt with everything well, hasn't he, Robert Hicks? So to have a classic game, you've got to have a referee that's willing to work with the players, and the players willing to work with the referee as well.
Is that another cut?
Yeah, more blood from Morgan Escaré this time. We might just have to bind him up for the time being and wait for the doctor to finish off.
It's just a little nick, isn't it? Well, a lot of the physios and doctors, as opposed to the stitches that take a little bit of time, will often glue it on and glue it shut. Put a bandage over the top and push him back out and say, get back on, pal.
7:30 Saturday night. Enjoy your tea, everybody. This is Williams now. Flower. 10 metres inside his own half. He goes down under the challenge from Philbin. Legaue. Williams. Short ball, Greenwood. 3 gone inside Warrington territory. O'Loughlin. This is Tompkins. Now Farrell gets it away to Bateman. Good tackle by Bryson Goodwin. Gildart. Tompkins, nice kick, looking for Escaré. And Roberts is there, and that's good work by Escaré because he's grounded Roberts in goal. It's a goal line dropout.
Great work from Escaré. Tyrone Roberts, when this ball is put on the floor, he's ambling his way. He's not being urgent enough to get to that ball. I don't know whether he's aware of the try line, trying to slow himself up, but he couldn't have been aware of Morgan Escaré right at the back of him.
I mean, every time that Morgan Escaré comes onto the field, he brings so much energy, doesn't he? Whether he's defending, whether he's chiming into the line, just asking for some treatment off the physio Steve Blakely.
Just wipe it away for the time being. So goal line dropout. Warrington's supporters behind them, really getting behind the team now here.
I think, Eddie, they know how important the defence is now for this next 60. They're going to struggle to score twice. They might certainly get over the line for 1 try, but if we're going to extend this lead...
Well, he prides himself on defence to Stephen Price in 2010 in Australia for St George Illawarra. He restricted Sydney Roosters to 1 try in the grand final. He won. Cronulla Sharks 2016 against Melbourne, he restricted Melbourne to 2 tries and he won. The belief was if you keep Wigan down to 2 tries in this, he might well claim another win here and break the duck for Warrington, change the course of history. Well, Wigan have got 2 tries and they're looking for a 3rd, and this is O'Loughlin, and now it's Flower. But this Warrington defence is manning up, as you would expect. But Wigan are 6 metres away with Tompkins, with Williams. Williams for the line, and they come across Jack Hughes importantly. That's Legaue. Fires the pass to Tompkins in midfield. He will then find O'Loughlin. He's seen something. Plays it back on an angle to Farrell. Farrell kicking and chasing Liam Farrell. I think Roberts had to take that, Ratchford rather had to take that over the line. It's another goal line dropout, is it?
No, it's a 20-metre restart. Must have been a knock-on, I think, by Farrell.
How
no, it didn't touch anybody.
How brave was Ratchford then? Knowing where the dead ball line was, knowing that Liam Farrell is chasing behind him, and he still had the composure to let that ball go. That's a big, big play, that. Means you don't have another set of 6. You're not under more pressure, and you've got your chance to work the ball upfield.
Having a big game, Ratchford having lost his last 3 grand finals.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Warrington kickers doesn't take charge, put it over the sideline. They've been under enormous pressure defensively.
Well, Warrington a bit static here. Ratchford, though, has seen a gap, and Ratchford goes for the gap. It's Ratchford against Wigan, and Escaré gets him down. He was ploughing a lone furrow then with Stephen Ratchford. This now Brown going back the same direction. Not the best pass, and Wigan survive.
Crucial times in this game, they just haven't quite got it right, have they? When they have Wigan in their own 20, they can't make those plays. You've got to make sure that if you come back, everyone's switched on. Stephen Ratchford, wow, someone gets up with him then. He has got the ability to break any defence down.
And that's, if you've got to be critical about the Warrington team, that's the one thing you can be critical of. The way they've ended their sets
has not been good enough.
Not been good enough.
Not been good enough.
So far. Sutton again for Wigan. As it was at half-time, 56 minutes of the match gone. 8-4 for the Cherry and Whites. Tompkins with a little dab in between Lynham and Ratchford. Lynham will pick this up. He's a little languid in doing that, though.
Brilliant kick, absolutely brilliant kick. It's a mental marathon as well as a physical marathon, a grand final, and what we're going to do in 3
Here
seconds.
he goes again, though, Ratchford. Ratchford's away. To Escaré on halfway.
I tell you what, when you want your big players to step up, he's certainly stepped up, Stephen Ratchford.
He has in the last 2 minutes. Warrington now on the front foot with Thompson. But Wigan's defence is now marshalled again. Here is Kevin Brown. 1 or 2 Warrington players with hands on knees. This isn't one of them, though. It's Cooper. And he gets it away to Brown, who finds Jack Hughes.
Well, both teams in this second half feeling each other out, but all of a sudden, seems to be this Warrington side that's dictating the pace.
Oh, Roberts has gone without it. No advantage to Wigan. Would have been the free play, so they'll come down for the scrum.
Well, Tyrone Roberts here, a knock-on, good defence from Wigan. But what about Ratchford? Here's his first break. Look at him, just bouncing across. He's looking for some space. He gets rid of Ryan Sutton, and then all of a sudden, he's got Morgan Esquire in front of him. Then here's his second break. Trapped down near his own line. He comes up with a brilliant play, relieving play. Could he be the man that inspires the rest of the Warrington Wolves onto victory?
He recognises Sean O'Loughlin a little bit gassed, under pressure, fatigued, was ambling to the left, hoping that the ball was going to be passed. He showed it to his right, stepped off, and just went into the space and got 30 valuable metres. Look at the body language on Wigan now. Both sets of players now. We're approaching the final quarter of this game. Mental and physical fatigue.
Yes, they're looking tired, both sets of players. But there's a long way to go in the grand final yet.
All it is, Eddie, is one lapse in concentration. One defender switches off. Either side has got the ability to spot that and break it down.
Sargentson makes the break, but it's halted by Jack Hughes. Quick play the ball, though, from Wigan in those circumstances. Bateman plays it then to Powell. Here comes Liam Farrell. Will charge Wigan over the halfway line.
They're good players behind the play of the ball, spotting some space.
Now it's with Williams. Red alert for Warrington here. A nice dab to the corner. Charnley's after it. Charnley has it, and Charnley is bundled into touch by Tom Davis.
You win big games on what your defence is like. Look at this from George Williams. Perfect kick. He's hoping that it goes out Josh Charnley, but he doesn't go out. He has to make a play for it. Tom Davis then, in turn, makes a play for him. And you can see what it means to Sean Wayne.
Not many seats vacant in Old Trafford tonight. They're watching a real battle between these two rivals in the northwest of England. Wigan's head and feet at this scrum. Big set of six coming up for them. Big set of six for Warrington and their supporters and their defence. They've been here so many times and have gone home disappointed. Can Warrington turn it round?
There's a problem here with Jack Hughes just getting some attention. I'll be hoping that he's okay to continue on with this game. He gets up. He's given the sign's gone to the sideline that he's okay, but what that does give as well is a couple more minutes for his teammates to recover.
So that's where Wigan are. That's the geography at Old Trafford. Here is Tompkins, drops it off to Ryan Sutton. Sutton drives it into within 7 metres of the line. Sam Powell to Tompkins. The angled run is from Bateman. Important challenge that from Clark. Powell's waiting there. Comes to the left to O'Loughlin. Good defence from Jack Hughes. Sam Powell. Ben Flower. Ben Flower nearly stretches out. Powell again. Esquire. Tompkins to Farrell. Wide looking for Gildart. Sean Wayne's head hits the table and the ball hits the whitewash.
They're trying to play off some power. Ben Flower gets ever so close. Wigan trying to let the ball do all the work. Some space out wide for Oliver Gildart. If that pass is better and it's clean, it's in front of him, he's hitting it on the run, that's a try.
It's easy to forget as well. He's not played on the wing for a number of weeks. A born and bred winger would hug that touchline. There's the foot in touch. Oliver Gildart would hug that touchline, stay on his chalk, expect the pass from Liam Farrell. The accuracy was just slightly off, and the position of that play was just slightly off for Wigan.
The Warrington fans finding their voice, getting behind their team, trying to lift the men in primrose and blue for a big effort in the last quarter of this match. The last quarter of the season. Referee shouted hell then before the ball was released. Tom Lynham in a bit of strife.
Well, the referee's just saying to him, give him back the ball, let him play the ball, get back on with it.
With a couple of defenders round him, when he finds that offload, he picks up a knock. I don't know whether it's after the ball's passed.
Yeah, they've created space there, haven't they, for his head to come through. They tried to leave him a gap.
Just felt a twinge, obviously. He tried to wave the trainer away, to be fair to Lynham. So this is Charnley, but sheer weight of numbers beats him. Darrell Clark, Roberts, good run from Philbin, but straight into a Wigan ambush. And he wants to get on with it quickly. Plays the ball to Clark. Powell's in an offside position. Seems whenever the first man is beaten for Wigan, there are a couple more reinforcements just behind them. Now then, they'll have to find them again here, because this is Roberts. He showed it to Murdoch-Masila. Good hit by George Williams. Ratchford again. Hoists the kick high. Escaré with the head bandaged.
Bit of a labour chase from Warrington. Then they come up with some brilliant plays, like when Stephen Ratchford goes, Clark goes.
Bit of a laboured comeback as well from some of the Wigan forwards. There's 5 in front of the ball there. Stephen Price. I wonder what he can conjure up here in the last 20 minutes of the season.
It has been like a game of chess, and say just both of the sets of plays just punching, jabbing away.
This is Williams now for Wigan in centre field, trying to weave a bit of magic. Gives it then to Sargentson. Sargentson grounded by Roberts. Last tackle coming up for Wigan. Williams to Tompkins, who drills the ball all along the ground and finds touch on this near side. Well, been a little bit like casualty down there. Bill, what's the injury news?
Well, it's Wigan who are suffering the most at the moment. Morgan Escaré bandaged up, and Don Manfredi on the far side of the field from us has had a head injury assessment. He's had an eye injury assessment, and he's had stitches put in as well underneath that bandage. So he really has been in the wars. But given the 2 years he's had to get back to fitness after succession of knee injuries, he's not going to give this one up easily.
I bet he isn't. It's been half an hour since we had the last score in this match. 31 minutes. Tom Davies's try, we've seen nothing since then, and we're at the 61st now. And here goes Charnley. Warrington supporters claiming Wigan broke a bit early from that scrum. Here's Tom Lynham. Won't want to go home tonight as being the only one of the 4 wingers not to score in the grand final. Chris Hill is back out for Warrington.
Scored 2 important tries though last week, didn't he?
Lynham did. Yeah, he did. He got them here. Hughes and Brown. Ratchford.
He looks the most threatening player in the second half at Warrington. Stephen Ratchford.
Kevin Brown. Philbin. This Wigan defence is unrelenting. It really is, and Steve Price has got to find a way through it somehow if he can. Is the high kick from Roberts going to be enough? Well, the ball has bounced into the arms of Toby King. He flings it back. He missed out Chris Hill. He only found a Wigan player, and Steve Price goes absolutely apoplectic on the sideline.
I think they were unlucky not to get a penalty then, Warrington. When that ball was kicked up, I think it was one of the plays that was impeded. Look, and that's what Steve Price thinks of it as well. He thought there was a penalty coming.
The difficulty probably from the referee is that Warrington retained possession. Sargentson gets away from a couple. Oh, that's a rare error. A rare error from George Williams, but it's given Warrington the 0 tackle, so 7 from there. And Bodine Thompson's kick, they had them lined up down that left-hand side. It might have been better to push the pass.
Or take the tackle and play it as quick as he can. Here's the effort from Chris Hill. He was never going to catch that ball, George Williams. He was always expecting Chris Hill's contact and impact, and he knows his side now will have to do a little bit more defending. Offloads have been good for Warrington. We've seen them break the line. Stephen Ratchford sniffing around the ball, sniffing around the offloaders. Players like Bodine Thompson, Chris Hill, Mike Cooper when he's out there for Warrington. and then fast play the balls will give Darrell Clark a look at the line.
Right, the scrum will go down some 40 metres from the Wigan line. Is this Warrington's critical moment?
You need one more. You need one in.
Well, both sides will be looking for the generals
Come on, Josh.
to step up here, boss
Get
them
back,
around,
please.
show why they paid the big bucks in the halves.
Ball Tyrone. Out. Back on.
So Clark from the base of the scrum finds Brown, who in turn finds Chris Hill.
Hell! Release now.
Chris Hill goes down on the first tackle. Clark to Brown. Brown to Roberts. Roberts to Ben Murdoch-Masilla. Very important tackle low down that was by Sargentson, and Warrington get the penalty. There was a second little pull and a push on the ankle.
Well, he scatters him, doesn't he, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, when he gets the ball. He's looking to get a one-on-one as many times as he can.
Not interested in the two on offer, going for four. Why would they be at 8-4 down? This is Clark. Here is Roberts. Roberts, little dummy, and gets to within a metre or so of the line. And Clark finds Ratchford. Ratchford into centre field to Jack Hughes. They've got to come up with something a little more inventive than this, though, Warrington, to break this Wigan defence down. Can Kevin Brown find it? Short ball. Gets it away. And it's Thompson who'll get to his feet. Plays it to Goodwin. Brown again. Back it comes to Roberts. Roberts running it. Comes wide to King. Further wide to Charlie. Wigan's defence slid across. Sargentson stood his ground. Offered him the touchline. Charnley wasn't interested. Knock on, and then a knock on to compound the error.
They're making a mistake. They look dangerous, Warrington, when it's off the cuff. When it looks structured, it seems easy for Wigan to read it. And when the ball went out to Jack Hughes, all of a sudden, just a straight carry in. He's trying to get rid of the man who's at marker, Josh Charnley. In his fight, in his haste to play the ball, he loses it. He gets a little pat on the head from one of his former teammates.
Both of these teams have got petrol tanks that are almost empty, and I don't think either side would want to defend their own try line for much longer. I know Wigan look strong then, but there's always the chance when you're so close to your own line that an opponent's going to squeeze his way over it. They've not given up hope yet, the Warrington fans.
The spirits are still high, but time is now as much of an enemy for them as is the scoreboard. 4 points, that's all. One try, one converted try, and Warrington hit the front in the latter stages. One converted try for Wigan, of course, and that's probably curtains. It's that close.
Good line speed as well from Jack Hughes there on Don Manfredi. Look at him here now.
Yeah,
firing in. They're looking to rattle the opposition now.
They're hunting the error. They're hunting the error are Warrington. Bateman does well, but Warrington get him down. Powell. O'Loughlin. Solid run from the captain. 10 valuable metres. They're up to the 30 mark as he plays the ball here to Powell. Now Tompkins back on the inside to Escaré. Escaré is away. Escaré's got Ratchford to beat. Ratchford stands his ground. Quick play the ball. Powell finds Williams. There's a big space for Williams up ahead. Williams almost stumbles. This is the last challenge. This is the last challenge. He tries to get the ball away. He does. Navarrete, drop goal. Oh, what was that from Escaré? Oh, sorry, he says. No wonder.
Oh, let him off, Eddie, because he's just come up with a fabulous break here. Look at this. The inside ball from Sam Tompkins. He's trying everything to find some space, but Stephen Ratchford did a decent job just squirting him up and making sure he gets that tackle right.
Good recognition from Sam Tompkins. A lot of big men. We've talked about fatigue. We've talked about how much both of these teams have put into this match so far. And those bigger players with big V8 engines are just starting to tow a little bit. And here's the attempted drop goal from Morgan Escaré. Yeah, not one of your best, lad.
Warrington then in possession on halfway. Hill. Down he goes under the challenge from Romain Navarrete. Clark to Hughes. Back it comes to Roberts. Here comes Murdoch-Masilla. Oh, he played the £1 million pass and it went forward.
Well, that's what happens when you're behind in a big game. Just over 13 minutes to go in this. He finds some space. Tyrone Roberts is with him. But they did well then to find that space, find that opening. And Steve Price knows that it's a chance here that's gone missing. Sargentson comes up with a good play in defence. The ball rolls forward.
Why didn't he pass it to Ratchford, though? That's the best angle. As we watch it live without the TV cameras, as we're looking on the gantry, Stephen Ratchford on his right. I know he had the ball in the wrong arm. But take your opportunities. Sean Wayne said it before, a ball was passed or kicked. Stephen Ratchford there, open on the right.
With two men on the overlap wide.
Yeah, and that's the side they were setting up, so we should have been aware of what numbers was outside.
Another missed chance for Warrington Wolves.
Well, they try a few Hollywood passes, don't they, at times, Warrington.
I don't know whether he's picked up a bad knock here as he collides with Ben Murdoch-Masila. Tyrone Roberts, his knee trailing. He's still down.
Well, they have an unused substitute, don't they? Declan Patton still sitting on the subs bench. The last time he played against Wigan, I think he got on for about 9 minutes. He might get something similar here tonight in the grand final.
He did get on last week, and there's so much to offer a game, especially as we are in the final embers of this game.
He's not played in the semi-final, Dec Patton, and he's not come on in this match yet. Oh, I tell you what.
Give him a go, Price.
Well,
give him a go.
He's dangerous every time he comes on the field. I remember it was the Wigan game, wasn't it? Wigan-Warrington in the Super 8s. And Warrington in a similar position to this. Close game. Lynham then gets sent to the sin bin.
It was 8-6 that game, wasn't it, with 10 minutes to go.
And then Lynham gets the sin bin, but there was a couple of instances in that game where Warrington had possession and position like that, and they tried that. The $1 million pass never came off, and then Wigan ran away with it.
He's got to go. He's got to go off. He's not moving freely. If you're a Wigan player now, you're thinking, yeah, let's keep him on. Let's keep him on. Let's get at him.
The referee's got to speed it up, hasn't he, there? How long can you stop the game for?
Well, if he's injured, Phil, what do you do?
You carry him off.
You're very harsh.
I also don't think he's been that effective. Tactically, he might just change the way that Warrington are playing Declan Patton.
But he's lame, is Tyrone Roberts.
I'm sending on the traffic. Eddie, I'm sending on the traffic at him now while he's on the field.
Well, Patton's about to come on. Patton's coming on. John Clark's dragging Roberts off, and Dec Patton comes on. He didn't play in any of the semi-final, and he has got 13 minutes to make an impact here. When Warrington and Wigan last played here 2016, Patton scored the goal, and Patton scored the try.
Well, he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? Sat on the sideline, obviously a bit nervous now when he gets his chance.
This is Williams. Sargentson. Davis. Patton with fresh legs, but Davis does well to evade him, but he can't get away from Murdoch-Masila.
So powerful on that left wing, isn't he, Tom Davis?
Last one coming up here for Wigan. It's with Sean O'Loughlin. Now it's with Legaue. He'll hoist the kick to the right-hand side. Lynham's underneath it. Bryson Goodwin hit the deck.
Well, it should be a penalty to Warrington. Didn't he take Bryson Goodwin out?
I think Goodwin was acting as a blocker and got in the way.
Oh, it's with the orange boots.
I think he's just acting as a blocker and he's in the way.
Good contest that, isn't it, between those two powerful wingers, Tom Lynham and Manfredi. Oh, look at this line speed here now from Wigan.
Lynham trying to break it down if he can. Here comes Chris Hill. Desperate not to be on the losing side again. Clark and Hughes. 3 tackles gone. Here's Philbin. Almost through Philbin. Good challenge by Navarrete. This now Darrell Clark again. Bit of space for Clark, but only cherry and white hoops around him. Ratchford down the left-hand side. Thompson, wide they go. Lynham stabs it through, looking for it himself. Tompkins is there.
A good play from Tom Lynham, and the coach appreciates that. But again, now he knows that this side have to work hard. When this man returns the ball, Don Manfredi, you've got to make sure that you control him, slow him down. He's really difficult to handle.
Well, it's perfect for us, Eddie. I mean, you've got 11 months' effort from both of these teams here that come down to the last 11 minutes of the season to find out who are the best team here under pressure and the big lights in Manchester.
Yes, 11 minutes remaining. Wigan just ahead. Bateman will take the tackle.
He's lost the ball there. It's a penalty.
Oh, now then, this is interesting.
Well, no points in this second half.
Have to be a good hunt from there, though. 45 metres away.
They'll play on, Edit. They'll play on. Bodine Thompson all around the ball. The second row, John Bateman being pushed into the centre.
Oh, did you have a go at 2 points
Well,
here?
I thought for a second, with the body language and the motion of those players, they were talking about playing on, rolling the hands, rolling through. There's Bodine Thompson, the penalty. Looks like the kicking team.
I think they've taken the decision to kick.
Yeah, we'll go for it. Short in goals. Just got to get the distance on it.
Well, somebody's changed their mind there because the players...
Yeah, Tom Davis was giving the signal, play on, run on. I wonder if Sean is querying that or whether he has sent the message out himself. Sean Wayne, Coach of the Year on Monday. He bids farewell after this. The first Wiganer to win the Coach of the Year title since John Pendlebury took the accolade as Halifax's coach 20 years ago.
Eddie, I think this is the right decision because if he gets this 2 points, all you've got to do is, in the next 5 times that you have the ball, is just keep working the ball to the middle and go for 1 point. You take it then to 2 scores.
Yes, it does give them a cushion. And as you can see, it's fairly straightforward, but it's a long way out. I make it, what, 47 metres? He hasn't kicked one tonight. This could mean they're on the way to golden point at least. And the Warrington fans will tell you he's missed, but he does get it dead. He does get it into the crowd, so Wigan will get the ball back.
And what it also does well is it wastes some time. As soon as he gets that, he knows he's not got the right contact with it, and those Warrington fans go up straight away.
As I say, I was watching them, Escaré and him, kicking in the pre-match build-up. They didn't miss one between them.
How many people were watching them?
Me.
There are a lot of people watching them now, and that's the difference. Pressure does funny things to players, and players like Sam Tompkins thrive on that pressure. They invite it, but goal kicking, that's a whole different gravy.
Well, 4 points in it. Warrington still very much alive. 9 minutes away from the full-time siren. Bateman, a solid run and solid defence from Warrington. Defence wins games. That's what the coaches tell you, and these two defences have been magnificent. This is Davis. Only 3 tries scored, 2 to Wigan, 1 to Warrington. Wigan looking to close this game out with Lachlan. Now Legaue. This is Tompkins. And it's Gildart. Kevin Brown got a hand on him. It was important. It just delayed him. Finished off by Thompson. Last one. Tompkins, well, is saying to Warrington, if you want to score, you're going to have to go 98 metres to do it.
And from in the corner as well. So they don't go for a repeat set of 6. He runs the ball, trapped in the corner. Wigan all of a sudden can get the defensive line nice and tight.
Clark. Hill.
He's been tremendous in. He has been absolutely brilliant, Chris Hill.
What about the fitness of the modern-day Super League play? I thought 3 times that the players were absolutely out on the feet, but they've stayed in the tussle, even though they're gasping for air. Just keep going and keep going, and keep going till the job is done.
Steph Ratchford just said to his forwards, go forward, move the ball forward, and that's what Darrell Clark is doing here. Darrell Clark. What a good run. Last tackle coming up for Warrington. Deck pattern pointing right, so inevitably goes left. And he finds Brown, and Brown will just hoist the kick. Manfredi's underneath it. Lynham got to him. And now if Wigan want to score, they've got to go from 95 metres up the other end.
Good take over his shoulder.
But Warrington will look for the mistake here.
Well, they're just after that quick play of the ball. You see, every time they get a quick play of the ball, when Darrell Clark gets out, he looks so dangerous. He's got good balance, good strength, good vision. but they've just not had enough of them.
Davis with the run. Patton and Clark with the defence. Farrell content to take tackle number 5. Kick on the way here then. Tompkins is in position A. It's with him. There goes the kick. And again, it's along the deck. It's difficult for Ratchford, but he picks it up. Now then, 6.25 minutes. That's all.
Just after one of the...
And Wigan go now with what they've got on the field. 10 interchanges have happened for Wigan. Ratchford's hurt as he plays the ball to Patton. Toby King.
Well, if you're a Warrington player there now, you're looking for someone to just get the nose through the line and play it quickly. And Stephen Ratchford, when he went down, when he had the ball, there was a problem with him. Takes a bit of a high shot from Ryan Sutton.
Bit of a left hook, isn't it?
Yeah, ref says that's okay to play on. I agree.
Tackle 2. Okay, mate, go back on.
So on we go. Mike Cooper.
Help! Release now! Go 3.
Warrington, I feel, have to get this ball wide. Patton loses it.
Behind him, that pass then. He had to reach back. Also, he had the attention of a Wigan defender. Jack Hughes passes it just slightly behind, and Sean O'Loughlin does enough to put the young replacement half-back off.
And that's key, that because of the pressure from Sean O'Loughlin on the inside, he can't take that ball. The man who's played in, 7 grand finals, he was named this year in the 7th Dream Team. Quality player, so important.
His first grand final in 2003. Sean O'Loughlin.
So important to the side, isn't it?
Well, he's made the most Super League appearances ever for Wigan, as Sean O'Loughlin. And he's in the England squad. And he'll probably captain his country. His national coach, Wayne Bennett, is here tonight. He's watching this 21st grand final.
What a fantastic shot that was, as those two scrums packed down Old Trafford. And both sets of fans, neutral and biased, have all delivered. Great occasion again, Eddie.
Yes, it is. Been a great occasion, but only a couple of tries in this and only a few kicks in the £1 million game last Sunday in Toronto. Such is the high stakes in Super League at this level, to get into and to get to a grand final. Williams. Farrell stabs the kick in. Charnley picks up. Ooh, and he's bent double in that challenge.
I'm not having it that this game's going to finish 8-4. There is another try on its way. There's the pick-up from Charnley. I think it's Dan Sargentson involved in the tackle with Liam Farrell. Nothing in it. Awkward.
Just an awkward fall,
awkward
isn't it?
finish and fall.
He gets his right leg caught, doesn't he, underneath Dan Sargentson.
There is a try coming here. Before we get to 80 minutes, there is a try coming. Somebody, somewhere will have that spark of brilliance.
When's the draw for the lottery tonight? Have you got 6 numbers for us, Barry? If you get a try in the last 4 minutes here, you can give me 6 numbers and I'll share it with you.
We'll see. We'll see. Warrington need to be further down the field, and Wigan need to keep the Wolves down as the fans get behind their sides.
Well, the women's grand final went to Golden Point earlier on today. 16-18 it finished to Wigan against Leeds. So do we have a Golden Point finish in this 2018 Betfred Super League grand final? Maybe not. 4 minutes to go and 4 points in it, and Bateman keeping going.
He's got an incredible engine, hasn't he, John Bateman? And Ricky Stewart and the camera readers have got a great player next season as Davis now runs up to behalf.
But Masilla pulls him down. Here goes Oliver Gildart. Oliver Gildart takes tackle number 3. Wigan looking to finish Warrington off with Williams. Williams flat pass. Sutton plays it to Powell. O'Loughlin switches the direction of the attack to Legaue. Legaue will give it to Tompkins. Wide they go. Manfredi! Dominic Manfredi wins the grand final for Wigan. Wigan have done it again, and Warrington have lost again. Dominic Manfredi, second try of the match. And it's going to be Wigan's grand final in 2018, as it was in 2013, as it was in 2016. And the emotion of the event has not caught up with Wigan, but the emotion and disappointment of the event is catching up with Warrington here. What a comeback in only his 5th game of 2018 after that injury nightmare of the last 2 years. And even Wolfie, I think, knows it's heartbreak again for the Warrington Wolves.
Well, play to the final whistle, and he's come up with some big touches in this second half, hasn't he, Dom Manfredi? Catching the ball down there at his own try line, getting upfield. Sean Wayne, well, tonight is the last time he takes control of his team, but he's going to be proud of their efforts. Again, looking at the line, Sam Tompkins delivers that ball across Oliver Gildart, and Dom Manfredi hugs his touchline. He knows he's big, he knows he's powerful, he knows he's quick, and it's a good finish from the winger.
Well, big games are won by big players. You see all the big players from the Wigan Warriors involved in that play. Sean O'Loughlin, Thomas Legaue, Sam Powell right at the end of it, and the fairy tale finish for Dom Manfredi. All the emotion behind this Wigan side, players leaving, the coach who's put so much pride and passion into this cherry and white shirt, both as a player and as a coach. Looks like with only minutes left, the cherry and whites and Wigan Warriors have got this grand final.
Looks like it now. What a comeback to the big time over the past month for Dominic Manfredi. 2 tries against Warrington on his comeback match 5 games ago, and 2 tries here against Warrington in the 2018 Super League Grand Final.
Well, the difference between the two teams for me has been the passing accuracy. In the right situations, Wigan have had the skill to deliver the ball to the man when he's needing it, and Warrington haven't. Could add some of the attacking kicks that Wigan have put in as well, have been better than their opponents, and they've tried as hard, they've put as much effort in, but that skill factor is the difference in my eyes here now as we approach the last 2 minutes, and Sam Tompkins has a chance to extend the lead to 10 points.
He hasn't kicked one yet. He still hasn't kicked one. We've had tries, we've had 4 of them. 3 of them have been scored by Wigan, 2 by that man, Dominic Manfredi. And with less than 2 minutes to go, it's Wigan's night. It's Sean Wayne's night. And the emotion and the party will begin in less than 120 seconds.
Well, there's the team that have taken their opportunities, taken the chances, and Warrington, unfortunately, my mind goes back to Ben Murdoch-Masilla. He passed it inside to Tyrone Roberts, who fumbles it when he had Stephen Ratchford outside, and those are the margins, those are the millimetres on what big games are won.
This is Hill. Warrington will be crestfallen. They've lost 2 major finals in a year again. Their supporters, well, they travelled here tonight full of hope that this was going to be their year at last. They still haven't given it up, but the time will tell you, with 8 points the difference and just 60 seconds to play, they can't come back in this now. Patton to Brown. Brown to Thompson. Thompson goes down, and the referee says play the ball, which he does now to Clark. Patton. Deck Patton. They're underneath the Wigan posts. Clark at dummy half, on the ground again, as it has been for much of this game. Ratchford to King, Toby King. He's got that ball down as Toby King. Well, the referee was closer than I was.
I have no try.
Oh, but he's got no try. That's why he's handing it upstairs.
There's the press from Sam Tompkins on King. Does he get underneath it? Does he drop the ball as he's trying to ground it?
If it's given, they don't have to elect to kick at goal. They can go straight then to the restart. Here's the decision.
Well, the referee thinks he's lost it before he grounds it. He certainly hasn't got the ball down yet. Still hasn't, think he does. He loses the ball beforehand. It'll be a knock-on. The no try will be confirmed. It'll be a scrum to Wigan, 10 metres out.
Well, there you go. Well done, Robert Hicks. Well done, Robert Hicks. He just saw a little fumble, wanted it confirmed, and I think this will confirm it. This is going to go red. No drive. They don't even get a consolation.
Alarms in the early. He thinks that he scores that try, Toby King, and Warrington 12 months ago. I said it a couple of weeks ago as well that they were in the qualifying eights last year. They've been to two major finals. It's not been their night, but it's a big, big improvement, isn't it? You say to the Warrington fans before the ball was kicked early on this year, you can get to the Challenge Cup final, you're going to lose. Get to the Grand Final, you're going to lose. Do you want to take it? I'll bet any money they'll all say yeah.
I bet any money they'll all say no.
I disagree. I disagree.
They've just lost in the 9th consecutive final to Wigan. I don't think they're feeling very good.
I disagree. They don't know that history, Phil. They absolutely
do. Wigan ramming it down their throat all week.
No. Disagree.
Wigan have won it. Sean Wayne's tenure ends with a grand final, a 10th straight win to a 5th grand final victory for the Wigan Warriors. And now the emotional kick in. He leaves them as champions. The first half was breathtaking. The second half was an arm wrestle. It's a relief more than anything.
Well, it's going to be a new look Wigan next year, isn't it? And the coaching staff, the players as well. Going to be some new fresh faces on both sides, and that's what it means. Sam Tompkins leaving the club that he turned up to on the sideline, watched them, cheered them on in the first grand final 20 years ago. He has the match ball at the end of the year, and Sean Wayne with Talima Taltai celebrating all that passion, all that hard work that's been on show. And there's players that will be sat at home that have been part of Super League that want to play in these big games. Your targets are set early on in the year, your pre-season's done in all those hard conditions, and this is what you want to get to. Grand final night, October the 13th.
The big statement for the togetherness of this squad, this Wigan squad, is those players in tracksuits, not selected for the game, but still celebrating with their teammates on the field.
Well, there are tears in the Wigan ranks of joy. There are tears in the Warrington ranks of despair. But Wigan have won this grand final, and Dom